a different kind of switch. It's electrocapacitive or something like that. All right, let's see if I even have 20 switches. 5, 10. Yeah, looks like I do. 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 49. So we're good. Let's loop 25. Did you have to desolder it? No, those I had still. And I need to buy more inks, which I'll probably do shortly. Oh, you mean the board, the other board? No, you basically take out the plate with the switches and you put it on a different board because you can't desolder topiary. It's a very different thing. I do have, let me see if I can find the video for you, Albert, so you can understand that process. Hold on. Okay, that was stupid. Let me search here. Interesting. I don't have the heavy 6. That's very odd. Okay, watch this one, which should be about the same thing. So next up, let me send you the link here. There you go. So if you watch that video, it will make you understand it a little better. Just went up to my mailbox and my inks are finally here. Oh, that's nice, Cartoon. I do have a bunch of red inks, but I don't like red inks on metal plates. And since we're doing the half breastplate, I want to make sure that I go with the blacks. All right, so we're gonna use my lube station that I created and designed it and 3D printed. Should I film them? I don't see the need to film them, but if you like to experiment with something different, by all means, go ahead. Exactly, you can, but there is no need, no real need. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. My red ink tops were pretty loose, so I filmed mine, and there is no need to if you were tight and they don't wiggle. And the problem with this lube station is that it's very easy to break those things. You can see that I have a lot of them that I broke already. You can see, you know, especially the one right here. Can you see that it's missing one of the legs there? So as I said, it's really easy to break it, especially when taking out the switches. All right, give me 1 second, guys. Let me take this call. 1 second.
it go. Oh, let it go.
Sorry, guys. Ended up being a robocall. So let's see what I missed. Cartoon never tried Black Ink, so might make one film. Yeah, do one or both. And if you never filmed anything before, go ahead and film it. It improves with films. Sup, Pedro? How are you? Yeah, and what Panda said is a very important thing. Do not go under a TKL size if you have no programming ability, because then you won't have layers and things like that. All right, and so the next thing that I usually do is as soon as I finish putting them here, they're pretty much open now. So what I'll do is I go with my fingers and I lift the tops. Oh, and I think this one may be broken. Let me see. Yeah, we have one problem here. This one is not open, so I'm gonna leave that one for last. Oh, it was not seated properly. Never mind. So, with that said, I like to lift the tops. Like that. And then what I like to do is I like to grab one of those GMK trays and I like to put the switches here, the switch tops here in the same orientation that they go back. So it's easier to put them back if you keep them on the right orientation. So you don't have to think about turning and whatnot. So I always use something like this to hold on to the tops, making it easier to put back once you finish lubing. If we were lubing from scratch, if we were lubing those switches from scratch, I would film them. But since I have 60 something more that aren't lubed, for consistency, I won't do it. So after I finish this, I just put this away and I start taking out the stems and and then the springs. Here we go. Get this last spring here. And now we can also set this aside. And here I have my good old bag for bag lubing. And what I'm gonna do now is, this has plenty of lube, but I always like to put a little bit more. So I open up the bag like this. I get my lube mix. And I just drizzle a little bit of lube here. I try to put it in different parts of the bag. And that should be more than enough for those 20 stems. Oh, and I messed up here. Hold on. So we better start using this to protect the desk mat. So now after that, what I do is I like to make sure that I spread the lube even. I use the same lube for springs, Cartoon, which is a mix of 105 and 205. Tibbs, can you show me your favorite 75% with spacing, or anyone that between 250 and 300 euros? Yes, I'll show you in a second. I'll do that, Victor. I'll do that. That's a great idea, actually. It doesn't, because you end up, at least I end up reusing a lot of this lube, so it doesn't go to waste. It's not like I throw this out. I have been using this for maybe a year or so. So I like to do the stems first, so that it gets, you know, all the lube. And then what I do is close it like this, and then I get the bag and I blow. To inflate it like this, and then shake it. I like to say you shake it like a Polaroid picture. Albert, do me a favor. As soon as I finish the lube tutorial, ask me for that 75% again, and I'll be glad to do it to show you. So once you think you're done with it, what I'd like to do is to get one of the switches or one of the stems and make sure that it's thoroughly coated in lube. See if I can. Why is it not tracking this guy? Come on. So as you can see, this is a very nice even coat. There you go. So that's gonna do it. So what I do now is I take the stems and I put on this little container here, set it aside, and repeat the same thing for the springs. So again, close it up to a point and then inflate it and give it a good shake. Professional hand movement, I know, right? And then last but not least, let's put these springs here. Actually, I don't like putting them here. What I like to do is use a magnetic tray like this that already has a lot of lube in it. I like to put them here because then it holds my springs in place, and I can try to untangle. Let me zoom in a little bit. And you can see that some of them are gonna end up tangled like those two. So what I like to do is to try and untangle them and put them organized. And there we have them somewhat organized. So now it's just a matter of getting the housings. And that's where I think that the tray does a good job. You see, it holds the springs, so I can kind of incline the tray and makes it easier to recover or to grab them and put them on the housings. It makes the job a little faster. And everything I do now is a result of, 2 years of trying to find the best and quicker method to lube switches. And this is as far as I've gone so far. The lube mix is, I think it's 70% 205 and 30% 105, if I recall correctly, but I can take a look. So it would be like 3-2-1 on 205. Oh yeah, this is annoying as fuck. I agree, Luke. Let's see if we can find something better together. Hold on. But before I do that, let me finish the lubing job. I don't want to, because I want to make this a tutorial. But right after that, we're going to transition to something more relaxing. But I totally agree that that music was completely annoying. I can also make it a little lower for the time being. All right, now the stems. What I try to do with the stems is try to find the ones that are in a good position, like this one here with the little cross on the top. And then I try to grab it and put them here. And if they are not with the feet to the bottom, to the facing back, I like to twist them and put them on the right position as soon as I put them on, so I don't forget. And it's just basically a rinse and repeat here. So always trying to find the ones where you can easily grab with a pair of tweezers. So I'm constantly rotating the container so I can find the ones that I can grab with the pliers. Oops, sometimes shit like that happens. Vou ser honesto, eu não quero insultar ninguém respeitoso, mas prefiro muito mais a tua stream do que outro gajo que estará fazendo nesse momento. Thank you so much, Albert. That means a lot. Let me see. I have the same silicone tray. Yeah, it does the job, right, Cybernez? And I cut out the little boxes that had here, the things that was like always flapping around. And every time I wanted to put it in some place, that thing would like be in the way. So I decided to take that out. Cut it out. Oh, you mean this? This. Oh, okay. Yeah, I see what you mean. Sorry, I missed. Because this thing is also silicone. That's why I thought you were talking about the mat. Referring to it as a tray. I see what you mean. Yeah, I bought this. I think my wife bought it on the mall here. Probably in a Daiso or one of those Japanese stores, I think. There's another one, I forgot the name, Miniso. So it was one of those, I think. But they are really good for lubing. All right, we are done with this part. So now is where I think it pays off to organize the tops, because you're going to see it's a lot easier now to close it with them organized like this. You don't have to be like twisting and finding, because if you don't put them like this and you put it on a bag or a container and you throw them out, they're going to land, you know, with the feet up. And then it's always a pain in the ass to, you waste a lot of time trying to put them back in position. That's why I really recommend that you, when you have the opportunity, you store them on the position you're going to put them back on. Saves a lot of time, at least in my opinion. You can see how much easier it is to put them back. Hey, Sleep Poke is here. How are you, man? And we are done. So now comes the trickiest part, in my opinion, which is to release the switches from this tray. Zoom in. Basically what you need to do is press all the top and bottom parts. I like to do like the top first. And at the same time that you're pushing them down, you're both taking them out of the tray and closing the switch, because remember, they are not completely closed. So you have to be kind of careful on how you do that. And then you go back and you do the opposite side, making sure that they are properly closed. On my first version of this tray, I didn't have the open bottoms like this one. And that would make it impossible to take the switches out of the tray. So there you go. Most of them must be off right now. And you see that we have one that didn't close properly. That happens from time to time. So you can just grab it like this. Put the top back on and then try to carefully remove it. And there you go, we go. We have 20 switches, everything we needed for the board. Hopefully that made sense.